it is time to wrap up the Ticket app on Linux. In this video, we're going to add the final piece to our ticket page, allowing us to delete tickets. Now, this video is part of a series dedicated to developing C# applications on Linux. Recently, we've been building a full app, the Ticket app, that works through APIs and Aspire and connecting that to a Blazor web app front end and a database and all the rest to get to the point where you have a full end-to-end application running on Linux for us to play around with. So if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel to see what comes next. Until then, if you're looking for even more .NET, SQL, and C# training, go to imtimcorey.com. It's what funds this free content. So let's jump over to Linux one more time and open up our tickets page. And in here, what we're going to do is we're going to add, let's come down here to our, we have our, right down here, we have our form, let's bring this over. We have our edit ticket for editing a specific row. What we're going to do is add one more that's a button for deleting tickets. So let's do this. Let's come down here to our code and actually write the code first, like before, and it'll come back up there and put in the call to actually do the delete. So private async task, delete ticket async. I'm going to pass in an ID. And in here, we're going to have a try catch. So we're going to say is saving equals true, follow that same pattern, error message equals null, and await ticket API. How great has this been? Just ticket API dot delete ticket async and pass the ID. We're done deleting tickets, right? So now what we can do is we can say await load tickets async. Okay, and next up what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and create a catch. And we'll say exception EX. And here we'll say error message equals string interpolation, failed to delete ticket, and pass in ex.message to say why we failed to delete it. And then again, we're going to have this finally, which is going to say is saving equals false. So allowing us to start working on that, that record again. Okay, so delete ticket async is now done. So we can come up to our form here. We can copy this because I don't want to have to retype all of this. We will take the margin end off. It won't be a primary button. It will be a danger button because this is dangerous. So our on click is going to be delete tickets async and pass in the ticket, not the ticket, the full ticket, ticket.id. And we'll call this the delete, not ed. Okay, so now we have a button for deleting. Remember that delete is actually a real delete. We're not doing like a soft delete or something like that. But let's run this and see it in action. And this should wrap up what we're going to do in this application. So we have done a lot here. Let's actually run it and see it. Let's go to tickets and say, you know what? I don't want the sample record. that seems silly. So let's go ahead and hit delete. And there it goes. So now if we go away and come back, it's still gone. Like it's gone. You know, we could put a prompt in there that says, hey, are you sure you want to do that? But I think that's good. So this kind of wraps up what we've been doing with the Tickets app. Now, the point of this Tickets app is just to show that you can develop a full .NET application using C# and Blazor or any other web project type or console type, or there's a bunch of different project types you can use on Linux, and it works just fine. It deploys just fine. We can now put this in GitHub, or could have done it earlier, and use GitHub Actions to deploy this right to a web site of some kind, or a web app location. The common place to deploy these types of applications is going to be Linux. So we're already there. We're already testing in what would be a similar environment to the deployment environment. So this is really all we needed to do to build an app. Now I want to show us off just to show that, yes, this is like developing in Windows. Like there's differences. If we look at how VS Code works, well, it's different than how Visual Studio works, but this is now consistent with what we had on Windows and on Mac. Like the VS Code experience is consistent across the board and the different platforms. So you can take this code and work on Mac. You can take this code and work on Windows, and it will work the same way, especially if you use VS Code, because it's all the same commands, the same way, etc. So Linux isn't that hard to work with. It's a really powerful operating system. It's different, and we've seen how to set things up and get things going for developers. But at the same time, you can get going and feel very comfortable building C# applications on Linux. The great thing is that Linux runs on old machines, slow machines. It runs a whole lot better than Windows would for those devices, and it can go to a lot more places. So with that, I think that's it for the ticket app. I may come back at some point and do another video or two in the actual Linux series. But for now, thanks for watching. The source code's down below. And as always, I am Tim Corey.